Hey guys, I've had a couple of emails from some of you asking me a little bit about the thesis statement and the topic sentences for your essay that you're working on. So I wanted to just jump in very quickly and give you just a 2 or 3 minute review of what you need to do with that thesis statement and topic sentences. So just very quickly, let's talk about the thesis statement that you're being asked to do. You need to have those 3 prongs in the thesis statement that we've talked about before. You can have this in any kind of paper. It doesn't necessarily have to be a paper about one thing or another, just a process or just an analysis or whatever, just an argument. It can be in any type of essay or any type of paper. So here's a couple of examples. A healthy diet is important because it increases energy, prevents illness, and promotes well-being in all people. You're already going to have your hook, the sentence or two at the top that we talked about. It can be a quote, it can be data, it can be a lot of different information, something funny, something that draws the reader's attention in that hook. Then you have that middle piece that talks about the background of whatever it is that you're discussing. And then you have that one sentence thesis statement. In this first example, we know what it is that we're talking about. We're talking about a healthy diet. And then we tell the reader why we want them to read about it. We want them to read about it because it's important. Okay, we're saying a healthy diet is what it is important. And then we want to give them the why. What are we going to tell them about that? How are we going to prove that? What's our focus for the paper on why a healthy diet is important? Well, because 1, it increases energy, 2, it prevents illness, and 3, it promotes well-being in all people. So you need to think about that, what it is you want to say, and then why it's important. Why are you telling them what you're telling them? The second example, in The Masque of Red Death, Poe uses the symbolism of the stranger, the clock, and the 7th room to develop the theme of death. This one is arranged a little bit differently, but it has the same information. What are we looking at? The Masque of Red Death. So we're looking at Poe's piece. And why are we doing that? Because we want to show that Poe develops the theme of death. Okay, and how are we going to show that? What are we going to use? What is our support? We're going to use symbols: the stranger, the clock, and the 7th room. Okay. The third example, John Updike develops his characters in A&P through his use of figurative language, symbolism, and irony. And I'm going to pause for just a minute, and I want you to figure out those 3 pieces of information that we've been talking about. All right, you think you have it? So what is it we're looking at? We're looking at John Updike's A&P. Okay. What about it? We want to look at his characters. Okay. And how does he explore his characters? What are we looking at for his characters? He uses figurative language, symbolism, and irony. In all 3 of these examples, we see the same thing. So, as I said, it doesn't matter if it's a process, if it's an argument, if it's a piece of analysis that you're doing for a lit class. You use the same kind of setup for your thesis statement. Okay. Then once you have your thesis statement in place, you have that introductory paragraph. Now you have to work on those body paragraphs. We talked about body paragraphs as well. In your essay, you're going to have at least 3 body paragraphs, right? Because we have 3 things that we're going to talk about, the 3 things that we listed in our thesis statement. And for each of those body paragraphs, you have to have that topic sentence, or that sentence that leads me back to that thesis statement in the order that it was given. Here's a thesis statement for this example. A job interview can often make or break your chances of getting your dream job. There are several things that you can do in an interview to increase the possibility of your success, such as dressing properly, answering interview questions thoroughly, and asking good questions at the end of the interview. So our 1-sentence thesis statement in there starts with there are several things. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at an interview, and we're looking at what you can do to increase the possibility of your success. Okay, that's the purpose. And then we're going to give you those three things that are going to help. Right? So in your paper, I'm going to expect to first see dressing properly. Then I'm going to expect to see in the second paragraph, or the second set of paragraphs, if there's more than one per, answering interview questions thoroughly. And then I'm going to want to see information about asking good questions at the end. Okay? I don't want to see things about anything outside of that. You have to be careful that you're not going off on a tangent. You have to make sure that you're focused in on what you want to talk about and really think about that. And if you have a solid thesis statement, you should be able to do that. And then that has to transfer over. So an example of a topic sentence for dressing properly. Topic sentence. The way you dress can have a big impact on an interview panel's first impression of you. Now, I know from that topic sentence that all I'm going to read about right now is the way I dress and how that has an impact on the impression that people are going to have of me. So all I'm going to talk about in that section. You got to be careful you don't mix it up. That's it. That's your whole focus. Okay? Then when you finish talking about that, however many paragraphs that takes, then you're going to go to your topic sentence, paragraph 2. Now I need a new topic sentence because you're going to introduce a new topic. Okay, the next topic you're going to introduce in this particular instance is answering interview questions thoroughly. So that's all I'm going to read about now. Okay? And for a topic sentence that leads back to that piece of the thesis statement, I could say, an interview is an opportunity for potential employers to get to know you better. So it is important that you answer each question as completely as possible. Now, in this section of my paper, I know all I'm going to be learning about is an interview, how the interview is an opportunity for them to get to know me better. So I need to be as thorough as I possibly can, and then we're going to talk about that in that section. And then finally, topic sentence for the third and final area of my paper, which in this case is asking good questions at the end, right? So, by preparing some thoughtful questions for the end of the interview, you can show the panel that you have prepared for the interview and want the job. Now I know I've been introduced to that third part. I know I'm entering into that last part of the essay before I get to the conclusion. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I wanted to make sure that you understand this part because this is important for any essay that you write in any class that you take. And I want to make sure that you have this down before you move on to something else. All right. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that everyone is enjoying what they're learning and enjoying the class. And I hope that you continue to be successful. And I will see you soon.